I welcome you all on the 105th AOE meet today. The AOE calendar of June 21 has a very important quote mentioned at the bottom of the calendar, which is focusing on priorities and the importance therein. With so much of information, misinformation, negative information floating around, uh, our entire environment right now, focusing priorities is really important. And I also notice uh, that one of the birthday boys mentioned in the calendar always talks about focus on priorities. That's Neeraj Chauhan is in most of his presentations. We get an opportunity to see all five of you on our desk from the beginning of the month till now, and we take this as an opportunity to wish Praveen, Abhineet, Ajay, and Rajeshwar and Neeraj a very happy birthday. Have a wonderful year ahead. Today we have very interesting sessions lined up. Our own Fauji Rajeev Kohli is going to share learnings from his journey. We have a wonderful guest speaker, Anjali ji, who is going to talk about things that matters of the mind. AOE history and facts. Many of us are aware, some not so aware, that there was this set of people who used to meet each other at various forums. The common thing amongst all of us was that we used to like each other, and we all believed in the view that good things actually happen in our life because of good thoughts in our mind, and these good thoughts are there in the first place because of good people in our life. One day we sat together and decided to create a platform where we could share knowledge and wisdom and create opportunities for relationship building between good members. AOE create a platform where we can learn from not only from guest speakers but also from our fellow members, because entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. All entrepreneurs know this, and AOE understands this fully. We got registered as a non-profit society and have been meeting every month since August 2012. BC used to denote something else. Now it means before Corona, probably. So before Corona, we used to meet at India Habitat Center, and we used to meet at various socials and annual day celebrations. Some of the glimpses of the kind of things we did to build relationships. And indeed, we did build great relationships here at AOE, and because almost every single member who has come in here recommended by another member, they're all gems. Once you get to know them, so wonderful. The foundation stones of AOE were laid by our founder chairman and past chairman, Mr. V. Sagar and Naveen Sardana. We are grateful to them, and the current managing team under their guidance is trying to chart a path where we can take AOE to even better heights, greater heights on the pillars of our strong pillars that Mr. Veer Sagar and Mr. Naveen Sardana has kind of given us. The current team, apart from me, Mr. Naresh Vij, the Vice Chairman, Mr. Baljit, the General Secretary, Mr. Vikas, Treasurer, and Mr. Abhineet, Secretary, ably supported by Mr. Tejinder Singh Bedi, are putting in our best efforts to get on the objectives of AOE. We have great members in the team. The whole list is on the website. The website aoeindia.in, which is much better version of what it was, thanks to our fellow member and web expert, Mr. Abhijit Roy. Not only we have information gathering on into this website, we also have minutes of the meetings, videos of the meetings, YouTube links, and also now the videos of our stars like Veer Sagar's, Learn from Veer Sagar series, they are also getting updated. On YouTube, if you type Association of Entrepreneurs India, the first link comes as AOE. And if you subscribe to this link, then you will also get updated on the latest videos. We have social media presence also, which one of our fellow members, Mr. Praveen Prasangi, has now taken the task of making our social media reach the next level. The one great thing that we were able to start in this time is the mentoring effort by AOE. under such stalwarts such as Mr. Veer Sagar, Mr. Sanjeev Narayan, and Mr. Rajiv Shankar Mathur, I am sure the seekers of wisdom must be finding this relationship extremely benefit. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Mr. Veer Sagar, Mr. Sanjeev, and Mr. Rajiv. Today's rest of the agenda is this, and with this, I would like to hand over the baton to Mr. Vikas for letting us go through the one-to-one sessions. Over to you, Vikas.
Thank you, Shishir. Good afternoon, everyone. As entrepreneurs, we all realize how critical one-to-one interactions are for the purpose of building trust. And at AOE, we firmly believe that trust should be built, relationship be nurtured, and business will automatically follow. As a ritual, we shall focus even more to enable one-to-ones amongst all our fellow members, and other than introducing ourselves, we shall also be introduced by a fellow member at times. Would request each AoEan to take up the initiative to present a fellow AoEan. This month, I did my one-to-ones with Mr. Naresh Trikha and Mr. Rajeev Kohli ji. With Naresh Trikha ji, the initial one-to-ones actually created a business opportunity for me, and we are very close towards finalizing that. So I thank Mr. Naresh Trikha. He is not here. He is currently in flight, returning back to Delhi. I request other members also who have done one-to-ones to please share your experience with the group. I did a one-to-one with Rajeev Kohli ji, and I'll come to that on a later stage. Yeah, Shishir.
Vikas, in my speech, probably I missed doing one important part, which was introduction of all members. So can we go ahead with that and come back to one-to-one? Yeah, I would like to start with you, Vikas. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Vikas Rajput. I own a company, eTech Services Pvt Ltd. It's a software company. We specialize in healthcare segment and also work with international NGOs to develop MIS for development sector. Currently, we are associated with the Ministry of Health, Government of India, for a software which is about recording and investigating all the maternal deaths that happen in the country. We are now very hopeful that after our effort of 2 years, finally the software may see launch very soon, most probably on 11th of July when it's World Population Day. So fingers crossed, this is what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas. Can I request Mr. Veer Sagar, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Veer Sagar. I have about 57 years of working experience, out of which the last 24 are as an entrepreneur. I founded Selectronic, which is one of India's first back office companies, which does medical records review. Currently, we are busy with two news entrepreneurs. One is Criconet, which started off as a life thing, but now because of COVID, we have converted into E. So we started e-coaching, where we have got about 15 BCCI accredited coaches, and they have one-to-one with any trainee who wants to take coaching. So they book in and they get a one-to-one slot with the coach. So that's officially getting launched on the 5th of July. Currently, we are having trials with students, and the other one is it's Ego Hobby, where I've introduced a YouTube called Learn with Veer Sagar, where I put in a video about my management learning from my experience. And I'm hoping to squeeze more out of it by converting that into podcasts and as well as blogs. That's all for thanks.
Thank you, Veer. Mr. Naveen Sardana, please.
Good evening, friends. My name is Naveen Sardana. I'm a past chairman of Association of Entrepreneurs. I'm a partner in this company called Living Luxuries, which is into the business of modular furniture, kitchens, wardrobes, and vanities. Earlier, we were importing kitchens from Germany, but now because of the quality of kitchens in India, there's been a substantial improvement. You'll get the whole range with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen. Can I request Mr. Naresh Vish, please?
Thank you, Shishir. Good evening to everyone. I'm one of the founder member of AOE, a proud association of fellow AOEans. I had a company called Kaveri Consultants, named after my daughter Kaveri. We manufacture high fashion garment designers in US and Europe. Our tagline is for women, by women, with love. We help women designers and involve women who live around our factory in our manufacturing process, and we help them, having equality in these status by giving them minimum wages, ESI benefits, and provident fund, and so on. And my attrition rate is 0. And because of these women, they just live around our factory. I have been running my factory at about 70% of the capacity since 4th of May last year, without any interruption, and we could meet our commitments to the customers. In fact, our US customers were so happy with us. They, on their own, created a COVID fund for our factory, and they donated 1 month's wages to every worker. And we were published in Vogue USA for the support these designers they have given to us, and the kind of love and affection and consideration they have for our factory. So I work for fame, not for money. Money comes on its own. I like to teach. I'm doing mentoring sessions with the Pearl Academy at this moment, and Unseld University. Love to play tennis, but not been playing due to the second lockdown. So look forward to doing that from tomorrow on. Have a good evening, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Naresh. Mr. Neeraj Chauhan, please.
Good afternoon, AOE. I am Neeraj. I am a certified financial planner by profession, and I help people manage money efficiently and effectively so that they don't have to work for money and money works for them. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Neeraj. Mr. Baljit, please.
Hi, I am Baljit Singh Bedi. I'm a founder member of AOE, presently General Secretary of AOE. I am a chartered accountant by profession with 40 years in practice. We are 3 chartered accountants who are working we are working together, and the firm is there since 1980. We are looking to add clients to our firm for audit, tax audit, income tax, bank loan, syndication, FEMA, GST, and we recently signed a tannery for our client. We are into financial planning and advice in business planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Baljit. Can I request Mr. Pradeep Anand, please?
Good evening, everybody. Pradeep Anand. I run an online karaoke company. Which is 100% subscription based, and I'm doing pretty well. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep. Can I request Mr. Sanjoy, please?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sanjoy Sehgal. I represent Accent Software. We make software for fashion, right from managing your TNA to managing your inventory to managing your sales. Every aspect of fashion, we cover that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjoy. Mr. Neeraj Bhargav, please.
Hi, everyone. I run an offset printing and packaging unit by the name of HBD Packaging Pvt Ltd. We basically manufacture mono cartons for pharmaceutical and FMCG companies like Dabur, Humdard, SC Johnson, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj. Mr. Atul.
Hello, good evening. I am Atul Kumar. I have two caps. One is my own business, Om Impex Pvt Ltd and Om Imesco. One company, Om Impex, is into 100% solution for health. We have 4 verticals in it, and Om Imesco is an importing company. Then I'm also presently the president of Indian Importer Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we help businesses to grow globally. Thank you.
Mr. Abhijit.
Hi everybody. I'm Abhijit, heading Apna Infotech, a boutique software company where we build, operate, and sometimes transfer focused technology teams for IT startups. We are a team of 180 plus software commandos operating from across the country, as Apna decided to go completely virtual since November 2020. I'm proud to share today our recent success of bagging a new contract to work with Supreme Golf. Some of the golfers in this group may have used it sometime because they are the biggest golf tee time aggregator in the world. We will be setting up a starting team of 12 members for them operating both in web and mobile technologies. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Abhijit. Mr. Sanjeev Narayan, please.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Sanjeev Narayan. I run company by the name of SGS Techniques. We are into electronic manufacturing services with operations here in Gurgaon, Manesar, Himachal, and Bangalore, Karnataka. We are basically providing the service to the large OEMs where they don't want to invest in their own manufacturing setup. We've been running this for over 30 years now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Mr. Praveen Prasangi, please.
Good evening, AoEans. Thank you, Shishir. My name is Praveen. I'm an architect by profession. I run a firm called Vanguard Design. We do commercial projects, mostly healthcare, hospitality, anything in the space of infrastructure to housing. We do pretty much everything. Thank you. That's about it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Praveen. Mr. Rajiv Shankar Mathur, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Rajiv Mathur here. I run a company called Critical Care Unified. Essentially, we provide critical care services outside of the hospital. It's really putting up ICUs or ICU type of environments in the home. We are now in our 5th year of operation, and we see a whole range of new requirements and services that are on demand now. However, the learning from these 2 months has been immense. And one of the things is that things can happen anytime. And how do you work or try and find, you mentioned priorities. How do you prioritize what you need to do in these times of emergencies? Unfortunately, it had to deal with health, but then it was a tremendous learning experience. We are back in action now fully with oxygen supplies coming, because the biggest challenge that we faced was running out of oxygen. I mean, for a week, we had our truck with empty cylinders going from a refilling station to another refilling station without getting them refilled, So those were the type of challenges with critical patients in the home, and out of oxygen was devastating. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Rajiv. Mr. Tejinder Singh Bedi, please.
Good evening. My name is Tejinder Singh Bedi. I'm working in AOE as executive administration and also taking freelance projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Tejinder. My name is Shishir. I'm a founder, member, and chairman of AOE. I have been in essential oil for over 24 years. Have traveled across the world from Japan to USA, the longer way around, selling Indian essential oils. In the last 5 years, I've been selling pure natural essential oils in small bottles to discerning customers across the country. Essential oils have application in aromatherapy, and they also have application on body because of its inherent quality for skin health, hair health, even for mind, for pain, for women health, for bloating, sleep, stress, respiratory issues. The list is long. Contact me if anyone needs to know more. My brand name is Meraki Essentials. Company name is Meraki Essentials. We sell through our website, which is merakiessentials.com. We also sell through e-marketplaces like Flipkart, Nykaa, and Amazon. That's about me. Can I request Mr. Rajiv Mehra to please introduce himself?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I am a guest of Naveen Sardana. My name is Rajiv Mehra. I belong to a family of jewelers going by the name of Ganeshi Lalan's son. And I've been in this trade since about 43 years, but my family has been in this trade since 1845.
Oh.
And of course, now due to this pandemic, I think we'll have to now reorganize our trade, which we are in the process of. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv.
Pleasure being on the platform.
Thank you, Rajiv. Can I request Mr. Anil Thakur, please?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anil, and I'm a friend of Shishir since 1968. Okay. Yeah, we went to school together, right, since 68, second standard onwards. So being primarily in the corporate sector since 83, I was with Atlas Copco, Emerson, and lastly with Danfoss. Last about 12 years, I've been in the field of air conditioning and refrigeration with Emerson and with Danfoss. So, and I was in Bangkok all these last about 12 years. So just came back last year. Can't be accused of bringing Corona though. It came along with me practically when I came in, and had some plans. I thought I wanted to be an entrepreneur like you, and the thing is still going on. Have a couple of ideas, so let's see how it goes. Corona is only kind of slowing it down, so I'm taking it a little bit easy. But yeah, but I'm on the cusp of joining you guys. So a lot of aspirations. Good learning from meeting people like you. Thanks for having me here.
When you cross the cusp stage and become an entrepreneur, join us at AOE.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Anil.
Yes, Shishir, I'll introduce Rajeev Kohli, sir, who is our internal speaker of the day. Lieutenant Colonel Rajeev Kohli, retired, has been the managing director of Squad Communications Pvt Ltd, an ISO 9001-2008 certified company, which he founded as a technology-driven information systems consulting and telecommunications solution firm based in the Electronic City, Gurgaon. The company has installed the electronics in over 9,000 mobile sites over the country for Ericsson, Vodafone, Idea, etc. He is also the managing partner in Squad Research, which is involved in consulting in the area of computer networks and telecommunication for the defense sector, including integration and local technical support activities for overseas customers for their projects in India. They also undertake embedded software development around ARM, MCUs, and MPUs if required. Lieutenant Colonel Rajeev Kohli, retired, was commissioned into the Indian Army Corps of Signals in 1970 and took premature retirement in 1991. He holds a BE from the Military College of Telecommunication Engineering and an MTech from IIT Madras in Digital Image Processing and is a fellow of the Institution of Electronic and Telecommunications Engineers, IETE. He has served as faculty at the Military College of Telecommunication and various units in the Corps of Signals, including Signals Intelligence and AoEan units. So thank you, and over to you, Rajeev, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. He's already read out the gist of what my life has been from the time I joined the Army to where I am now. What I'll be doing in the next I think about 20 minutes or half an hour will be that telling you what the journey was when I joined the Army and what are the challenges I encountered and what learnings I had from them, because that would be of interest to you all. So I have a small presentation made out, and I will be going through that to take you through the points of interest that one as an entrepreneur should have. At the start, let me tell you something, that the entrepreneurship as it is, it's a bug. It's something within you, because you want to be creative, you want to do something, you want to achieve a goal. And whatever is in your mind, in your heart, that is what drives you. If you just do it for the sake of money only, I mean for the financial reward, you are never going to be happy. You may be able to succeed monetarily, but in life you will never be happy because you would have missed out on what your heart really wanted. So that is a fundamental thing that between a businessman and an entrepreneur, I would like to state that. Okay, so now I'll just go to the presentation and start. So let's see what Rajeev Kohli did in his lifetime, starting from high school in 1966. From 1966, I joined the National Defense Academy, which is in Kharagpur, Pune. And it's tough. Training is tough. This is what we go through. What you see is me as a cadet when I joined the NDA. And we used to go for our training in cycles. And a normal course was whatever spare time you had, 15 minutes, half an hour, that was taken away by your seniors who used to rag you and make you do all sorts of punishments. And this is a typical form of punishment. You get front rolling. We train hard and we build competency. This is like you have a house and things like that in school. We have squadrons in the NDA. So these are my squadron mates from the Army wing when I passed out from there. After the NDA, I joined the IMA, and got commissioned from there in 1970 into the Corps of Signals. I left the army in 91 after a tenure of about 21 years. The left photo is me when I was commanding a unit, and the right is when I was leaving the army. This is typically what we do in the officers' mess. As a jolly good fellow, I'm put on a chair and bumped up and thrown out. So that's the thing. Now, during this period, what all did I gain? So I was there for 21 years. It was a job, it was training, it was a life. What all did I learn from there? So I learned techniques of weapon craft, combat, mountain craft, and surprisingly, vehicle and maintenance. Driving and maintenance, I've done a 6-month course on diesel engines and petrol engines, axles. I know what a crankshaft is. I know how it looks like, how it works, what a differential is. I know all those things. How does that? That's all because of training by the army to prepare you for your roles in war. Okay, this is the start of my entrepreneurship in 91. You have to decide whether you are ready to take the plunge out on your own. And you do that only if you are confident that you will be able to feed your family, especially taking a plunge on your own, not as a bachelor, but when you have responsibilities. You have a wife, you have children, they're going to school, that school fees has to be taken care of. So you have to take that plunge only. You should do it if you have a roof over your head and a pension to subsist. That was the reason I left, because I had a roof over my head in terms of my parents' house, and I was getting a small pension, which I knew that I would not be out on the streets. So what we did was, I have a friend who's Colonel Madok is his name. So he was working with the Chief's Secretariat at that time. I left the army, then he also left the army, and we both got into software development. During the army, when we were working, I was interacting with our vendors. One of the major vendors was Bharat Electronics, because most of the radio equipment, electronic equipment that comes from there comes from Bharat Electronics, and most of the missiles and all that comes from Bharat Dynamics, including the heavy vehicles. So I had some contacts there, and they knew my capabilities, and they also knew what Colonel Madok. Okay, so during the army tenure, we were involved in a lot of software debugging for the software which goes into your switches and telecom. And Bharat Electronics, those engineers knew my capabilities. Now they had a problem with one of their switches, so they gave us the contract to debug and have a look at the software and keep it running. We have a thing called call blocking, so they wanted a 100% call through rate in that switch, which they were not able to achieve. So we did work on that, and we delivered it to them. They were very happy. We got additional orders. We did additional work for some private companies. Modi Luft for the ticket reconciliation system. Modi Luft went us later on. And Delhi Stock Exchange, we have done work for them. That is on a Unix platform for a rate reporting system. Basically, the floor trading, which is there on that was made into, you had displays coming up for that. We did work for UNI, again related to the stock exchange, and for the Indian Army in this. Now, one of the challenges which we faced, like I said, I will tell you about the learnings in this. This was the first time we were dealing it in software. We thought we were, very good at software. No, we were good. We could finish our projects. We met the customer's requirements. So this from 95 to 2000, I took over these Senkers publications, and we were dealing with books on case law. I knew about desktop publishing, things like that. So I was able to take a part of that. Plus, my brother had also worked in this earlier on, so I got a lot of guidance from him. And At the same time, I also started Squad Research, which was into multimedia. We would make training videos with animation. We used to use Macromedia Director at that time. I'm talking of 95, 96, and then give it to the as training material to the army. We also done websites. In fact, we did the UPSC. We got won the tender for to supply the software for RDBMS backend, and where all the results were stored, and the candidate would just enter his roll number to find out his result or anything else, schedule of the exam or anything else. That was done by us at that a long time back. Also had a site running lookupdelhi.com as to where, if I want to buy something, where do I go? If I want to buy an Almirah, which is the shop to go to? So there was no online directory. So this was something like an online directory which give you product images and things like that. Unfortunately, one of the, again, same reasons, marketing, we could not exploit that. Sometime in, yeah, I think it was 2000, I had a flat in Bangalore. I had said I'm not going to go to Bangalore ever. I'm here in Delhi only. I'll be working around Delhi. So let me go to Bangalore and sell off that flat. So I got hold of a broker. He said, "Sir, aa jaiye, ek party hai." So I went there, and I think I was staying at the RSI at that time, Bangalore, and I took the money, the advance payment, the check and the cash. I took that, and I was all set to come back to Delhi. A friend of mine who was over there, he used to work as an HR in Deutsche Software, and then he shifted over and he joined Z Telefilms. So he was talking to me. He says, "Rajeev, what do you do?" So I said, "This is what we do. I do computers. I do this thing, websites. I do this network." So then he says, "Then can you, if you're free, can you come and meet my boss?" I said, "Okay." So I went there. I met the gentleman. He was the president of the company. I met the gentleman, and he asked me questions, and we talked and all that. Then he asked me, "When can you join?" I said, "When can I join?" So I was a bit taken aback because I had not thought about that I would be, taking up a job like this. I was not averse to it. So I said, "Okay." So I quoted a figure, salary figure. He says, "That's fine." And he says, "When can you join?" I said, "I can't. I need about 3-4 months to wind up things there in Delhi." He said, "No, I need you in about 6 weeks' time. We have to go to the US. There is something on there. We have to look at some company which we are trying to buy over or do some things like that." So that what happened was that I ended up selling the house and then shifting to Bangalore and taking up a job with eConnect. It's a part of Z Telefilms and part of the City Cables at IIM Group. So the learning which I have got is that you have to always, don't underestimate yourself. You should realize your worth, and you should be prepared to be tested on your capabilities anytime. Security. So they get used to the salary. But when you know that your jobs are quite fickle, you have to be prepared for some reserves. At that time, if I remember correctly, the talk was 3 months salary used to be the standard reserve. But in my case, at the age of 50, that did not apply because nobody was ready to give me a job. Yeah. Yeah, Shishi.
Rajeev, we are a little out of time. Another 5 minutes. Is that matter okay?
Okay.
Right. Thanks.
Fine. Nothing much ahead. Okay. So age is against you. Your friend support is important. Like I talked about that after this, I came back to Squad Research, started doing BTS work. And you have to weigh in business. So a second run at entrepreneurship starts again. I came back, started Scott Research again from 2004 to 2006. And we grew in this area of mobile sites from 3 people to 40 people. And that was in the period of 1 year. It slowly increased. Dheere dheere karte gaye. But I realized that investment was required. So I tried to catch hold of another chap who had money and tried to sell the company to him. But we formed a company called TSL. But he was looking at me for getting expertise in defense area. I was looking at him for money to expand the BTS area. We had a smooth start, but we had a abrupt end, and we had to break it off in two years' time. The reason was very simple, that I carried on the company from 2008 to 2013. The reason was very simple, that he got stuck with some enforcement directorate issues. And that was a backlash which came on to us. So we decided to part ways. He was into defense work, a lot of other things. And then we had to part ways on that. So we did, I carried on in 2008 to 2013. And we also did work for Ericsson. We outsourced manpower to Ericsson. So we, at one time, we had nearly about 270 people, 300 people on our rolls. The challenges in that business were always you had multiple circles. Telecom works in circles. So you had multiple circle heads and you had to keep them all satisfied with the quality of our work. And that itself is a challenge, big challenge. Cash flow is always the biggest problem I have had is cash flow and marketing. The Inspector Raj, when you select your accounting heads, you should be careful. That's my advice to you. We had a head called expenditure at site. So the boys used to go, they used to hire things, they used to hire some local labor, kuli utha diya. Then they used to use local transport, they would do other things. They would put everything into expenditure at site. One ESI and EPF, the Provident Fund inspector came and he said, sir, these are all labor charges, so you have to pay Provident Fund on that. You have to consider that as salary. And so he got the biggest, he said, sir, he did some calculation, your penalty is 65 lakhs. And who's going to pay 65 lakhs? If I pay 65 lakhs, I'll close down. I'll have to sell out that property and everything. So finally, we had to juggle around, do this, that. The issue is, what I was trying to say is that the person who was doing ESI and EPF roles, he screwed up. He is the chap who should have advised us correctly and done that. That is the problem. So 2014 to 2016, I tried a new area of business. We did some work in video surveillance work, in cameras, and tried to develop our own software on cameras based on STM and TI platforms. We did all that. But then lastly, where's the marketing? Again, the same problem comes up on the marketing. So we reverted back to consulting. So from 2016 onwards, we stopped this work also. And I started winding up my business. This was the area where we worked from. So this COD chapter was over, and currently what I'm doing is I'm just mentoring a company which is involved in IoT devices. It's in wearable social mainstream products. Meaning your band, if it is within 3 meters of another band, it will give you a beep. That technology is there. And this is an audio product for sleep meditation. It's a speaker which special content which will put you to sleep or help you in meditation. And I also tinker around with MCUs and MPUs. And right now in COVID times, I'm spending time on my hobbies, which is music. And I also started learning how to cook. I think that's the end of it. I'd just like to thank my family because happiness is always being with family.
Thank you. Can I request the Vice Chairman, Mr. Naresh Vish, for a vote of thanks, please?
Thank you, Shishir. Rajiv, wonderful roller coaster ride. Very, very true to your army training, where everything is uncertain and you got to be adaptable and flexible. That's how you were taught to be. And that's what we saw. Hats off to you. You carried on with so many bumps, but still moved forward. I congratulate you on your perseverance. So thank you for the wonderful talk. I'm sure there are a couple of learnings from there for everybody. And we keep talking about it, that choose one business, stay in that. And with your story, sometimes you want to stay in that, but external factors and many other factors, they may not allow you to remain there. Enjoy your music. We would love to come over for your new cooking passion and have a party with you. And thank you very much.
Anytime, welcome anytime.
Move on to the next session of inviting the guest speaker, because we are a little short on time. So I'm putting this request a little quickly.
Thank you. Welcome, Anjali ji. It's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you to Shishir to rope you in for this AoE talks. Let me introduce you quickly for my fellow AoEan members. Ms. Anjali Ahuja is an ICF certified mindset coach, a successful corporate HR professional, a trainer, a thought leader, and author. She believes that transforming mindset is the first step towards bringing about any change. Anjali has successfully coached over 300 people to fast track their lives towards success. Fantastic. She has authored a book, Career Misadventures and How to Avoid Them, which has received very encouraging reviews from several readers on Amazon. This book has also been part of the Amazon best-selling club. I'm sure I'm going to buy one. So, list is like Anjali ji's, if I had a crown with about 12, I would say on top of crown them, I would give it to her right now. She has a very, very extensive and very, very, impressive list. She has worked with IBM Dutch, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, TNS, ERM India. Extremely rich experience and has been successfully rewarded for her leadership roles in HR. I think without wasting much time, we would like to hear more from you and learn something from your experience. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Welch, for such kind introduction. And thank you for inviting me over here. Thanks, Shishir, for inviting me to such an august gathering and such wonderful people that I've been listening to for the past over an hour. And it's been really heartening to know entrepreneurs, such versatile people that you have in this group. And I feel really proud to be here and talking to you. And it's my pleasure to share my wonderful journey, which was quite a roller coaster ride. And if somebody was to say that I thoroughly enjoyed the roller coaster, I think it would be me. My journey started as a young girl from a bureaucratic family. My father was a bureaucrat, civil servant. We were a family of 3 siblings. We were 3 sisters, and the family was very disciplined. My father was a great Gandhian and a huge disciplinarian, and supported academic, importance to academics a lot. So that was the kind of household that we lived in. He was absolutely an upright, honest person. So being a bureaucratic family and being an upright, honest father, the money was almost scarce all the time. But what was not scarce was a lot of love, a lot of values, a lot of affection, and a lot of mentoring by my father. So this is how we were brought up. And my story starts from the time when I got married at a young age of 18 years. And I was actually a rank holder in my higher secondary. Those days it used to be higher secondary examination. I was a rank holder, and I went to Lady Shri Ram College and did my honors in economics. Some of these youngsters who are very capable and who have a bright future, they used to leave very soon after 3 or 4 years. And the great organizations were left hungry for great talent. So then I thought that, I must write a book which should provide as a guidance to the young professionals. So that is where I am at the moment, and I'm a mindset coach. I've been rewarded many times by various institutions, by various organizations for the work that I have done. But every time I get rewarded, I feel more and more humbled, and I feel more and more indebted to my father, because he was the first coach that I had in my life. He did not know C of coaching, but I think he was the best coach that I ever had. And that's what I wanted to share with you about my story. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can now.
Okay. So my first slide starts with a why. So I always feel that no matter what we do in our life, we need to ask ourselves, why are we doing that? Instead of trying to find out what do we need to do and how do we need to do it, I think the why in our life is very important. So I have always asked myself the why. And I think once you have an answer to the why, I think most of the other things get taken care of. And I would like to leave this august group of entrepreneurs with a why. That is the purpose for which you're doing business. I think it may be important for you all. Some of you may have thought about it before, but it may be really worthwhile if you can just think about it and give yourself an answer to this. My next slide is about, are people born smart or are they made smart? I would just like to leave this question with you. In case anybody wants to answer, you can do that. But I think I will start putting up on this as I move forward, that people are born smart or they are made smart. I think all of you are entrepreneurs, and I would like to share some of the successful and not so successful entrepreneurs' names and their journeys with you. Or some of the people who are very well known, very influential people, and how their journeys and how their backgrounds have been. For example, Winston Churchill. I think this arm is coming in front of. Okay, Winston Churchill repeated a grade during his elementary school. So it's not that the best of academic people make it the best. He was a great political leader, and he was placed, and imagine he was placed at the lowest division in the lowest class. The next person I would like to share, he was a composer, and his teacher called him hopeless composer. So this is how his journey has been. And there are certain other people like Leo Tolstoy, dropped out of college. And I think some of these data points you all may know already, but I think it's really important for me to share these for the point that I'm trying to drive home. Warren Buffett, the richest man in the world, failed to get into Harvard Business School. What if he had given up at that time? He wouldn't have been. Einstein's teacher said he was academically subnormal. These are some more data points that, I would like to share with you. So leaders are born or made. I think all of you would agree that leaders are made and not born. I didn't divide the world into the weak and the strong, or the success and the failure. I divide the world into the learners and non-learners. So there are two kinds of people in the world. One category of people are those who are the learners, and the others are non-learners. And in the coaching mindset, we call them fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So there are two kinds of mindset. People who feel that this is my intelligence and that's it. That is where I stop. are called people with a fixed mindset. And the other set of people are called people with a growth mindset. That means they always feel that we can grow. We can learn something new, we can be innovative, we can move forward with times, and there is always something more to do and something better to do. So these are some traits of people with fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And I've always believed that business success is equal to the mindset. The kind of mindset people have will ensure whether you succeed in business or you don't succeed in business. This is one slide that I'm really fond of. Ability is often overrated. Even in exceptionally able people, the grind they put themselves through often goes unnoticed. I have always seen and believed that the most able people, if they do not put in that grind, they will never be able to succeed. So I think it's the ability to try out newer things, it's their ability to be open-minded, and it's the ability to be innovative that gets you success, and not just being able. So it's all about mindset. That means success in business is equal to growth mindset. And any businessman who wants to succeed in their business has to have a growth mindset and cannot be, having a fixed mindset. So these are some examples of leaders with fixed mindset. Iacocca, there was a point in time when he was the most talked about leader. There were books written by him, and his book was a bestseller. But then what happened? He was a person with a fixed mindset, and he was asked to leave from Ford, and then after that he went to Chrysler. But then there was a point in time when he completely disappeared, and I think today's newer generation may not even know about Iacocca. Then the next person was the Albert Dunlop. He went to the same fate because of a fixed mindset. Jerry Levin and Steve Case, these are some more examples of people having fixed mindset. And I think there is one more person that I have not mentioned over here is all of you would remember that when cell phones started in the world, Nokia was a very big name. And Nokia phones were the best selling phones and the maximum selling phones. But what happened? Nokia could not move with times. And there was a business summit where Nokia, founder of Nokia, went on stage and he cried. And he admitted that because he had a fixed mindset, he did not move ahead with times, he was not innovative. That is why he lost the game. And today Nokia is no longer in the cell phone business. Imagine being a world leader and no longer being in the business is something which is a huge setback. So that is how fixed mindset can do a damage to a business. And let's see what growth mindsets can do. Everybody must have heard of Jack Welch. He's the CEO of GE and the most remembered and the most respected CEO who has been absolutely growth oriented, who has been absolutely innovative in his mindset, and he has taken the company to absolutely newer heights. Similarly, Leo Gessner, he's another person who has been absolutely growth mindset person, and he's taken the company to greater heights. Jim Collins, good to great. He's another person who has absolute great mindset, and I think some of you must have read his book also, which is Good to Great, and how good companies can reach greater heights by having growth mindset. But let's see, I'll just very quickly tell you how can you change your mindset? The question is that a lot of people believe that the mindsets cannot change. But what I can assure you is that the mindsets can change if you make a little bit of an effort and if you really want to bring about a better version of yourselves. I'll just give you a glimpse of how the mindsets are formed. Our mindsets are formed from the time when we are born by the perceptions and the beliefs that we carry from a very young age, very early age. And these beliefs get hardwired in our brains. That means they become more or less our convictions over a period of time. And based on these beliefs, our thoughts are formed.
Can I request Mr. Baljit to please put in a word of thanks for the guest speaker, please.
Wonderful talk by Anjali ji, especially endurance of human being. Having to face life alone with her children, she fought back, having studied in the prestigious Shriram College of Commerce. I could see the enthusiasm on her face on her becoming a coach and helping youngsters to adapt into the corporate culture and help corporates get important and useful talent. Her presentation was very educative, and to me, it answered a lot of questions I had needed answered in my life journey. Thank you very much, Anjali ji, for giving us your time and a wonderful disposition. Thank you very much.
An absolute pleasure for me, sir. And
Thank you.
I have been delighted to be in such a wonderful gathering, and thank you very much.
It was wonderful to have you with us.
Baljeet, since we are short on time, can I request you for the General Secretary report as well?
Yeah, I am Baljeet Singh Bedi, General Secretary and founder member of AOE. Thank you, members, guests, and guest speakers who have helped AOE in gaining entrepreneurial learning. Good things happen in your life because of good thoughts in your mind. And usually these good thoughts are there in your mind because of good people in your life. Principal objective of AOE is learning, knowledge, and wisdom, sharing, creating opportunities for relationship building between members and helping each other grow. This is the 105th AOE meet in its present form, 93rd meet of the AOE after it got registered as a society, a non-profit organization. I want to thank Mr. Rajeev Kohli for a wonderful talk on his journey and his advice to the AOE members. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Can I request the treasurer, Mr. Vikas Rajput, please, for his report?
Good evening. The AOE membership costs rupees 12,000 per annum. The invoices for the current financial year has been generated and emailed to everyone. I request all members who receive information on their membership dues to please clear them at the earliest. I thank Rajeev Kohli ji, Rajeshwar Shastri ji, Neeraj Chauhan ji, Naresh Vij ji, Sanjeev Narayan ji, and Shishir Chaturvedi ji for making their payments on time. AOE membership payments can now be made through debit, credit cards, and wallets also. Thank you.
AOE mentoring, this great effort which has been done by Veer, Sanjeev, and Rajiv, got affected due to COVID. I believe Veer was unwell, but now, I mean, by God's grace, he's looking much better. Rajiv's critical care work also was under a lot of stress, and I believe stress is still there, but things are a little better, and hoping that AOE mentoring work restarts, because that is something that all of us are looking forward to. I would like to place my sincere thanks to Mr. Tejinder, who, despite being tough conditions, continues to chase all the work of AOE. Next AOE meet is on 17th July. We are trying to line up an interesting speaker. I'm looking forward to a great session. Thank you all so much for attending and this meet. Look forward to the next one with greater enthusiasm. Thank you very much.